It's race day here as we enter round 4 of the DFL Championship here at Montreal, Quebec, Canada, with George still leading the championship but only by 6 points after Charlie took the race win last time out in France. In previous seasons, we have seen Lando Norris take pole in Season 1 after a very laggy qualifying that made all 5 of our drivers be put down into the bottom half of the grid. During the race, we saw Preston, Ritvick and Harry DNF, whilst Jamie took P11 and Callum took the second win of his DFL career. In Season 2, we saw Harry take pole position whilst Carl went on to win the race with Harry in P2 and Jamie in P3. Then, as we transition over to Season 3, the current championship leader, George, took pole position whilst Preston then went on to win the race with Harry taking P2 once again and Charlie taking P3. But people, as the drivers are now out on track and setting the best times they can, let us see what's in store for us today here at the Canadian Grand Prix. And it looks like everyone is now out on track. But before we dive into the time set by the guys, I reintroduce to you my commentating partner for Season 4. Of course, the man, the myth, the legend known as Preston.
Hello. Nice to be here after, unfortunately, thinking I wouldn't be here, but glad to be here.
It's nice to have you here, mate. I thought I'd have to do this alone again, but it's nice to have you here. But George is leading this championship by only 6 points now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's getting close.
It really is, and of course today it's not just a qualifying and a race, is it? It's a sprint race as well. A time where drivers can pick up those bonus points that will come in ever so handy for them in the championship. Who do you think will take full advantage of the sprint race today?
I think there's going to be a lot of drivers that wouldn't normally qualify as high be taking advantage of it. But wouldn't be surprised if people take it a bit more lenient because obviously whatever you finish in the sprint race is where you start on the grid in for the race. So wouldn't be surprised if people take a bit of a precaution around the sprint race. But yeah, might see some action.
We hope so. But as you say, I mean, it will be very interesting. That's for sure. It will truly show who is here to win this championship. Who's going to take advantage of the bonus points when it comes around, because you have 4 sprint races this season, as you all know, so the drivers must take use of it when they can. But now some of the drivers are on their time lapse here and are about to cross the line to set their first times. I believe Charlie may be one of the first. No, it's going to be Jamie with a 112.216. Charlie beats that with a 111.219, a whole second quicker than Jamie here.
Yeah, that was quite the lap time. George goes and then tops it off by half a second.
What I can tell you, however, is George has to aim to beat a 109.638, the qualifying track record set by Harry in Season 2. We don't know the Season 1 qualifying times because we do not have a record of it. But that is the track record for the DFL. Do we think George is going to beat that? Who knows?
Not sure, but did you say that has anyone so far that's qualified on pole actually won the race?
No, because Harry qualified on pole in Season 2, obviously lost to Carl. In Season 1, Lando qualified P1, Callum won, and in Season 3, George took pole position and you won.
So what we're saying here is a bit of a pole curse in Canada.
Yes, I actually didn't see that. You are completely right, to be honest. There is a curse. No one's going to want pole position.
Did George break it today, or could this be another Canada pole curse?
Who knows? I mean, the problem is, of course, you talk about a pole curse, but would that count for the sprint race pole? Because, of course, whoever wins the sprint race goes pole won the race. So, How would that work?
That's true. I mean, however, what ways happened, I think there's the reason why the pole sitter has not been winning is from one reason or another. Maybe an accident or maybe just a miscommunication of strategies, which could come into play for the sprint race.
Very true, very true. As Costas sets a P11, we saw him cross the line there. Nicely done to set for 112.979. Split only by 0.03 of a second between him and Yuki Tsunoda. Whether he'll be able to get into that or not, who knows. But Callum and Owen, not great times here today. I do have some information for you all. Owen, unfortunately, does have an injured finger. Of course, the one you hit drive with on controller. So, what a brilliant finger to have injured, for a game. But he's turned up nonetheless, and he's hoping to win something. But as I said, him and Callum, not great times here today so far.
No, sorry to go a bit off topic, but is it Costas that's the house?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, he's just set 2 purple sectors.
Wow. So,
yeah, he's putting in some lap time here today.
So this could be an utter madness as he comes down to the final. Is it a chicane? No, he goes into the pits.
Wow.
Is that a mistake on his part?
Maybe he just ran out of battery.
Who knows, who knows. But Jamie now back out on track on his outlap. Charlie out again. I see George is out again. Harry as well. The drivers slowly coming back out once again with new tyres. Trying to set the best laps they can. We are actually building a few... we're getting a few more drivers now, aren't we? You know, so the grid is filling up. You know, and they're all separating a bit more now, aren't they?
Yeah, and like you saying before... Is that Ethan? That's the Aston Martin? Sorry, I'm new to all these new drivers.
It's Owen.
Owen, sorry. Yeah, Owen and... I don't know much of Owen's times, but I know Callum can definitely improve on his times, so... Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they finish. The new drivers here today.
Very true. As I said, Owen is injured. I don't know how, but he said his finger was injured or something, so... Oh, he's gone. He's ran off the side a bit there, but... who knows whether he'll be able to push fully or not to get back up the grid. Who knows? But yeah, as you say, Callum quite a bit down there, but we know he can improve. He's really improved since season 3. He's really going for it this season, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's got a podium every race so far, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Correct? No, except Britain. He got 12 points there. He got
12 points. Okay, so yeah, that's close enough for someone that wasn't doing too well last season. Started halfway through, couldn't quite really grasp a real rhythm of form. Yeah, he's turned up this season with some ideas, and he's really trying to push those top challenges.
Very true, and hopefully he does. He is currently on a fast lap, sets a purple sector 2 here. This could be an utter madness of a lap. Yeah,
it was a strong sector 2. I didn't see his sector 1, so hopefully that was also purple for his quali lap.
Who knows? But he seems to be coming up to the... Does it count as a final chicane? It does. It counts as a chicane, doesn't it? Sort of.
Yeah, but sort of, yeah.
Fair enough. He goes through it now onto the straight, crossing the line, and he jumps up to P4 here. Wow.
Wrong to separate the balls there.
Very true, but George has now improved his time to a 109.925, still not breaking that record set by Harry in Season 2. He's getting closer, but not close enough.
What was the record again?
A 109.638.
109.3 He might be able to get another run in that then, for his third set of softs unless it saves him for the race.
Very true, who knows. But currently you have George in provisional pole, Peter in P2. Peter in P2, love that. Charlie in P3, Callum in P4, Bradley in P5, Harry in P6, Jamie in P7, Costas in P13, and Owen or
Bradley's spinning.
P20.
And that's, yeah, he's having a bit of a moan here. He can't quite get his car straight.
No, a 5-place grid penalty for Bradley due to a collision with Costas here. That's not very good.
He's struggling still to try and get his car straight. His rears are going to be on fire.
He needs to take it
He
nice
needs
and
to
slow.
very carefully. He's any slight movements and he'll be round
Oh,
again.
there we go.
There we are.
Not a good time. Narrowly avoids that Ferrari there. But not a great qualifying so far for Bradley. I mean, he's in P5, but he will drop down to P10 due to the 5-place grid penalty.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, speaking about penalties, however, Harry does have a 5-second penalty due to the reset to track. Back all the way in Silverstone, of course, missing the French Grand Prix. We've carried it over to this race. It will get deducted at the end of the actual race, not the sprint race.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on, seeing where he finishes, especially with those fights for podium. He hasn't quite fought for the race win so far, I don't think, this season. Hopefully he can this race. But yeah, it'll be interesting with that podium fight he tends to have been in so far this season.
Yeah. So far, he's on 8 points. The only points he's accumulated was in Silverstone. Those 8 points are finishing 6th. So he's definitely going to have to try a bit more to get back up there. But who knows whether he'll be able to or not today.
Yeah, he unfortunately missed one of the races, then was taken out in another. So there's some valuable points missed, but I'm sure he'll get himself back up there towards the end of the season.
Very true. Owen slowly improving his time. Was on the 1:17. Unfortunate he's gone a bit wide there and his lap has will not count now. But he's on the 1:15.1 here. He is slowly improving, not really catching up, but it's showing improvement. However, he's going majorly across those corners there.
Yeah, I think once he realised his lap time was out, he's sort of gave up trying to stay on track. I think this is Bradley's run after he did a couple of spins, but no, I don't think he's actually on a run. He's got a full battery. I think he's boxing now.
No, he's
Unless
not.
He was charging it. Oh no, sorry, he must have been charging it. Yeah, here we go. Well, this should be his run now.
And there we go. We're going to swatch it because why not, you know. Takes it nicely through the chicane. Oh, Owen's retired. Not a good time throwing at all. Sticking it in P20. Who knows whether he'll be able to get back up or not. But back onto Bradley now. Taking it nicely through that chicane as well there.
Yeah, he's kept it nice and tight so far. Just didn't quite see a purple sector, so I don't think it's as fast as what we've seen, but it's still very good so far.
As many people have said before, you don't need a purple sector in order to go up a few more positions. You know, he can still beat Callum if he's faster than him, even without the purple sectors.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he just needs to improve on his personal best, set some green sectors, and yeah, hopefully he moves up a couple of places.
That's what we would love to see. We know that Bradley can be strong. We know that he's won a race back in Netherlands. Obviously, an unfortunate time happened with you. He's gone into the pits, however, so won't be setting the time. But we know that he's won a race before in Season 3 Netherlands. Of course, unlucky what happened to you with the fuel thing. Not your fault, but he did take advantage of that and take the win there.
Yeah, just like any driver would. Yeah, that was a good win from him, and he did have a good race. I think I was slightly quicker on the day, but yeah, my fuel didn't really work out, and yeah, took full advantage of it.
Charlie's looking on a very strong lap here. Oh, P2! Wow!
I put him nicely on the front row alongside George, going into the first corner.
The current top two in the championship looking as strong as ever here. Who will come out on top though? That's going to be the interesting one for sure. Obviously, Callum being in third in the championship, he's separated a bit more than the gap between first and second. Hopefully he can accumulate some more points. Peter as well being fourth. Maybe Harry can rise up and Jamie as well. Costas or Owen, you know, maybe bring some more fight to that championship. I think we'll see maybe like a four-way battle this year or something. What's your predictions on that?
Would love to see as many people fight for this title, but I think once you get to the last stages, you saw with me and Charlie, there was a 5-man battle at the start, but due to different circumstances with loads of different people, I think it does narrow down to 2. Of course, we'd love to see more, but so far it's just been a strong showing from 2 drivers.
That is very true, but we are within the last 2 minutes of qualifying here. Everyone setting their final laps now. Unfortunately, Owen again did retire, but hopefully he'll come back strong within the race. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens. But before we get to the actual race, of course, we have a sprint race, so you get double DFL races today. It's more DFL action. Why the hell wouldn't you enjoy that? But as I said, some of the guys coming out to set the last lap, see what positions they can rise up to and take.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I think Callum aborted his lap there, just to try and probably get a better lap in this next attempt. He's warmed up his tyres nicely and probably didn't want to get stuck in all the traffic.
But yes, hopefully Callum potentially, as we say, can set a better time. You know, I believe he has enough time to set another lap, doesn't he? So he won't worry too much about that traffic. And he's nicely sailing through now to set that final lap here. There's a huge traffic jam for the AIs there. That's the annoying thing. If you don't come out sooner, loads of the AIs come out and you get stuck in it, don't you?
Yeah, I think you either get stuck in it, time it perfectly, or do what Callum did and just abort your lap and try and go again with enough time to sort of have a bit of a free track.
Yes, who knows whether the guys will do that or not. Most of the drivers are now on a time lap. I'm not sure whether that's just a glitch or whether they're actually on there. You can never tell with this game because how laggy it is. Quite like Season 1 Canada, where Callum got his lucky win, as I like to reference every now and then just to annoy him. But the last minute now.
Just seeing what Callum can do. He might get a bit of slipstream down the back straight.
Is he going to set a better time here? As you say, getting that slipstream, getting that DRS off of what I believe to be Costas here. Because and Callum and Costas go to... Oh, Harry's retired from the session. That's not good. But Callum does not rise up. Costas does not rise up. Very unlucky time. Was that actually Costas or was I being dumb? No, that was Costas. So both of them do not set a better time. And on one more final lap. But Harry does retire here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I don't know what quite happened. I don't know if it was just a manual retirement or if he crashed.
Who knows, who knows. But hopefully, as we say, he'll come back stronger. But that is the end of qualifying. People are setting their last times now. George, as long as no one can beat him, which isn't looking very possible, goes on provisional pole position with Charlie sticking it in P2. Unless Peter can have something to say about that. Now coming down to the final. No, not going into the chicane. Going straight into the pits.
Yeah, that'll be the end of qualifying then.
Callum still looks to be on another lap, however. Coming down the straight. Will he set another time? Of course, Costas in front of him as well. I'm not sure whether both of them will be going. No, Costas goes to finish his lap.
He's back now. He's on 5th gear, yeah.
Fair enough. And, yes, there we go. Callum crosses the line. That is the end of qualifying, people, as soon as Peter does make it into the pits. Of course, the final person to make it in there, George, sticks it on pole position here today. We'll be right back for you with the leaderboard in a second. Do not go anywhere, people. And here we are for the qualifying leaderboard. George sticks it on pole position. Charlie in P2, Peter in P3, Jamie in P4, Bradley in P5, Harry in P6, Callum in P7, Costas all the way down in P15, and due to an unlucky retirement at DNF, Owen is down in P20. But, people, it is time for the Canadian sprint race. Do not go anywhere. Do not miss it, people. We're just getting into the action right now. Let's get it. And here we are, people, for the Canadian Grand Prix sprint race. And what a time it is. We're here with the formation lap. George sitting on pole position once again, as per usual. unfortunate not to break the qualifying lap record here in Canada as he has done in the three previous tracks. But nevertheless, he sticks on pole position. Bradley is on P5, but he will be taking a 5-place grid penalty for the actual race. Same as Harry taking a 5-second penalty at the end of the actual race. But we'll see what happens. But before we get to the actual race, we do have the sprint race right here, where I will be taking the lights out and Preston will be doing the finish, if that is okay with you, Preston.
Yeah, that's fine. Did you say, so who did you say, sorry, had the 5 grid pen?
Bradley has a 5-place grid pen. Not counted in the sprint race.
Yeah, that comes into effect for the actual race, doesn't it?
Yes. Unfortunate for Owen, who has disqualified from the formation lap, but hopefully will be looking strong within the actual sprint race. But the rain changes up everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess benefits control users massively. But yeah, we want to keep an eye out, because if you spin, you start at the back for the race.
And refresh my memory if I'm not correct here. The rain was actually what costed George the win last time out in France. He probably would have won if not for the rain spinning him out and Charlie taking advantage of that and taking the win.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can fully blame it on the rain, but yeah, he definitely struggled in the rain, and a lot of the drivers took advantage of that, and yeah, it was an unfortunate result for him on that day.
Very true, but the drivers are now lining back up, ready and willing to go and race here for some more DFO action. Slowly but surely the guys are getting ready, setting themselves into neutral, bringing up the revs as all the drivers now come in. Of course, Joe will be the last one to line up due to Owen getting disqualified from the formation lap. But people, it is time for some DFL action. Match 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it is lights out. And away we go for the Canadian sprint race. Here we go, people. Harry's gone down to P8. I don't see much happening. Oh, Costas has risen up to P11. Owen's up to P18, dropping down a bit now, but trying to hold on to it. Not much has happened at the top. Bradley is back up to P5. Callum's gone down to P6 as we're going into a battle, but no one can hold it. But now someone was pressuring Bradley. I believe that was Callum once again. Battles all over here. Now, Peter's dropped off, allowing Bradley to go through, not really giving him a fight, to be honest. What, Callum's gone off track as well.
Yeah, this is it's been a bit of mayhem, a bit of reshuffling towards the second and third rows, all reshuffled from that start. I think George got on a really good start, managed to pull away really nicely, and now has a 1 second gap to Charlie.
Very true. Will George be able to keep this gap going, or will he slip out, potentially be affected by the rain again? Who knows, you just had to find out. But an amazing start from Costas, so up to P9.
Yeah, Costas has made some major places, as well as I think Jamie's also had a good start as well. Those two really took advantage of the start, and I think Jamie's now pressuring Charlie.
It would be great to see Jamie take advantage of a sprint race. Of course, the last time we had a sprint race was Brazil in Season 3, and we know what happened there. A 3-second time penalty for Owen due to multiple warnings, potentially corner cuts or something, we don't know. But back in Brazil Season 3, he won that sprint race.
Yeah, he seems to be quite good on these sprint races. He knows what risks to take and what risks not to take, or to position himself well for the race.
Very true, but now Charlie is closing in on George. That 1 second gap completely gone here. Charlie may be looking for the overtake any minute now.
Yeah, Charlie's getting a move, but also Callum's trying to make a move on Peter.
It's backwards and forwards between the whole grid. Both battles going on here. Who's going to be the first one to make the move? Charlie is looking ever so closer than Callum is to Peter here. However, Bradley tries the overtake on Jamie, but Jamie defends it off brilliantly at the same time. Costas goes up to P8 here. There's battles literally all over the grid. No one is giving anything up.
Yes, there's a lot of battles going on, but people need to just take it a little easy, I reckon, just because they don't want to risk it too much and end up starting from the back. So there's a lot of risks happening, but we'll have to soon see.
Very true. But Charlie sets the fastest out with a 124.418, showing that he is a very good driver within the rain, and he is going to give the challenge to George no matter what here. Callum is losing a bit of time on Peter. What he did have, he's dropping off a bit, but I'm sure he can come back. Who knows? A yellow flag in sector 3 here. Something happened. We're not too sure what happened, to be honest. But Owen again falling down the grid in P18, battling away, but gone on the grass. 5 seconds. Oh my god. What is going on with Owen? I don't know. And he's gone straight into the back of the... Oh my god. Something is not going well.
Yeah, I think that's him out, yeah.
Potentially,
Owen out of the race.
Not a great start for Owen for sure. Who knows what will happen. Is this a safety car now? I believe it is.
I don't see a safety car on the map. This might be just a virtual.
Actually, you might be right, but it would have come up with VSC. I don't know, it's just saying... Oh, it is a VSC, yes, it's a virtual safety car here. So no one can overtake anyone. But that means that Charlie can stay real close to George and potentially get a better start than George can within the rain. And here we go.
And Harry is just behind Callum.
But Charlie is now overtaking George. Sorry to cut you off, Preston. But is going head to head. Charlie going round the outside on George. And he makes it past him.
That was a nice move between the two of them. Still fighting away. Oh, George almost went off into the wall there.
I'm very sorry to have cut you off, but I just thought I cannot leave this to silence as Callum makes it past Peter. I didn't really see the overtake, but I just saw it happen. Nicely done. Now Jamie's attacking George. And so is Bradley. This is a three-way battle.
Oh, they're wheel bouncing off each other. There's 3 abreast.
We have only seen this once before in Season 3, but it's going at it again.
Oh. George is struggling, and I think Bradley just got the better of both of them there.
A brilliant overtake for Bradley for sure, but Jamie seems to continue on the pressure on Bradley. Will not let him go. A yellow flag again in Sector 3. Something obviously...
Harry.
Very unlucky time for Harry, who's currently under pressure from Costas. Costas pulling in front to the P6, getting ahead of Harry here. But what is going to happen?
This has really mixed up the grid here, and I think Charlie is now pulling away decent time to sort of secure his places on the front row.
But Callum, however, coming in with the fastest lap, showing he is strong around this track, and he's not going to leave anything out. He wants to build more places.
Yeah, and particularly when he won the few seasons back, it was raining on that day, which caused a lot of collisions and a lot of DNFs, and he took full advantage of it. So he does have pace in the rain in Canada.
Very true. Jamie going a bit wide there. George manages to overtake him. Now Callum does as well. Jamie down to P5. Was that a team strategy move to let Callum in front due to Jamie slipping out potentially?
Yeah, Callum just had more pace. There was no need to let Jamie stay ahead.
Fair enough, but this has completely mixed everything up, hasn't it? I mean, George currently in P3. His championship challenger, the closest one to him, Charlie in P1 here. Bradley in P2. It's completely mixed up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we start with on the race, whether it's a dry race or if it's another wet race. Because this will give Charlie the biggest advantage going into that dry race. If he is to stay on the front with George behind him.
Very true, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, Bradley does have that 5-place grid penalty, so no matter what happens, he will go down. But Peter set him a fast start with a 121.851. Another yellow flag here, and that belongs to one of the Williams, I believe. Nicholas Latifi has had to stop and retire due to a technical failure. Unfortunate for the Williams, but I'm sure they'll be going back strong. I bet you wanting to see Williams go strong after your Season 1 championship win with them.
Yeah, still some feelings there, but yeah, I don't think they're doing too good in recent times once we've left.
Once that magic left them, they just couldn't hold on to the Constructors' Championship for much longer, could they?
Unfortunately not.
But Bradley set him the fastest Sector 2 here. A purple Sector 2. Nicely done by Bradley. Showing that he is also strong. But George may be catching up to him here. I think Callum's also catching up to George. We could see another battle going on here in a minute or so.
That would be interesting to see. That was a really good battle we saw between Jamie, George and Bradley. So if we can see another one, that would really spice things up a little bit.
It definitely would, that is for sure. Hopefully we see more battles like that, to be honest, because we love seeing it go through abreast. I would say maybe a 4-way battle, but I don't think the track's big enough for that.
Yeah, probably would just be putting things onto the limit there, going 4 wide.
Very true, but what the hell has happened to Peter? He's down in P8.
Yeah, I think he's really struggling with this rain. Yeah, that's all I can put it to, really. Is that the wet conditions he's not doing too good in.
Is it finally potentially showing cracks within the Alpines? We saw, obviously, Bahrain, they had a strong start. Silverstone, they came, they showed and they dominated again. Second, P1 and P2. But France, they got the P3 and P4. And now in the sprint race here in Canada, they're not doing too good either.
Yeah, it might just be a couple of kinks in their armour. These wet conditions aren't quite what the Alpines are used to.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but George is going for the overtake on Bradley. Goes out on the inside and gets it done. Overtakes Bradley nice and cleanly, but Bradley may be fighting back on the corner. Cuts it a little bit and gets past George here.
This invites Callum, though.
Oh, another 3-way battle.
Another side. Can he get George?
Oh! Jamie is right behind him as well. Potentially this could be a 4-way battle. Oh, Jamie slightly hits Callum's wheel there. Doesn't spin him out, but a slight tap. Imagine if the McLaren took out the other McLaren. That would not be good.
That would not be good for McLaren there, but you can see how eager they all are to try and get any places they can, even if it means pushing each car to the limit.
Very, very true. It's all close racing today, including Harry potentially catching up now to Costas. Peter is right behind Harry, potentially see that overtaking a bit. But George is now pressing onto Bradley with both the McLarens behind him. Imagine if both the McLarens get ahead of George and Bradley here.
That would be great team points for them. And starting the race would be even better if they could both start. One on the front row and one behind, because possibly challenge to the lead of the race.
Very true, but even if they don't get past Bradley, if both of them get past George, then they're taking those positions anyway because of Bradley's penalty. Oh, a 3-second time penalty for Jamie.
Yeah, I think he's been struggling with that final couple of corners. He's just cutting them a little bit.
A very unlucky time for Jamie for sure, but right now he's not really in any danger zone of losing his position. That's for now though. But now George is pressing on Bradley at the same time. Callum is keeping up that pressure on George. No one letting up anything here.
Now with 3 laps to go. Yeah. They want to throw everything they can. So this is based on the start of the race, so they want to get as best position they can.
Harry and Costas going at it. I believe Harry did manage to get the overtake, but Costas came back and secured it again. Now Peter coming into it and overtaking Harry. We're seeing 3-way battles all over the grid here.
Yeah, this is really good racing from everyone. I haven't seen any incidents so far from anyone.
I'm genuinely shocked. They've gotten so close going wheel to wheel, yet there's been no incidents. But now, Peter, what is Peter doing? He's taking it very wide round. Harry's tried to go around as well, and Harry struggled, really pressing against Peter's wheels there. Did Peter not allow him enough space or something? I don't know.
I wasn't aware of that. I just saw George get really close to Bradley here, as he might be looking for a move going into the first corner.
Or will he be able to push for it?
I don't think he can quite keep it, and Callum's right behind him as well.
This, as you say, is absolutely beautiful racing by these guys so far. I haven't seen a race like this by the guys before, but they are all pushing. Callum is within the vicinity now to get the overtake done on George, as George is in the vicinity to get the overtake done on Bradley. But can we just very, very quickly mention, Charlie has absolutely pulled away.
Yeah, I think that's just a case of him being quite confident around this track in the rain, and also the fact that everyone else seems to be battling, and he's just taken maximum advantage of that.
Very, very true. Of course, the sprint race.
I'm going for a mid dive.
Oh!
Can he keep it though? I think George will have better traction out the corner, and unfortunately loses out. But that's an interesting warning given to George there, that Callum is there lurking.
And even if he doesn't get past in this race, we saw unreleased footage I may release on TikTok. Go follow the F1 TikTok. That Callum had a very brilliant start in the French Grand Prix that we had to unfortunately restart, but he still had it.
Yeah, he's very eager, and that was an unfortunate loss of a start that he had. Could have positioned him quite well for that race.
Very true, but now we are on the second to last lap as we approach the final lap, and George is continuing that pressure on Bradley, not letting Bradley sneak away. But actually, no, the way I see this, George isn't going for the overtake on Bradley because he knows Bradley will just go down. As long as he can stay in that position away from Callum, he knows he's taking that P2.
I'm not too sure he knows that at this time. Because obviously it happened in qualifying, unless he was paying attention and remembered it was Bradley, I think he would still try and just get past Bradley. I think he's been making a couple of moves, and it's invited Callum into a couple of times, so I think he is trying.
And also it's 7 points instead of 6 points, isn't it? You know, because only the top 8 get points.
Exactly that. As much as the penalty might come into play, it will come into play for the race, not for the sprint race. So Bradley will still gain that in the sprint.
Very true, but now George is keeping up that pressure. We haven't seen racing like this before. It's the final lap of the sprint race here. Callum is staying on him. Peter is setting the first lap of the sprint race with a 120.8. Dead on. Now Peter is pressuring Harry, but cannot get that overtake done. I've just loved this sprint race, to be honest. 3 second time penalty for Peter, however. That is not good.
Yeah, I think there's a pattern across the grass, maybe. A bit too much there. I know on this track you can cut across that grass a little bit, but obviously if you take too much, you end up getting a couple of warnings, and that's what he's done. Built up a couple of warnings and got a 3 second penalty.
Yeah, and a very unlucky time for Peter for sure, but he's still pressuring Harry. But even if he gets past Harry, he will still be sent down. However, he's going on the inside now, going for it. Can he stretch enough for it? Potentially Harry trying to get the best exit.
The gap here on George. This is the final corner before we find out where they finish on the race. Wheel to wheel, squeeze each other against it.
Who's it going to be?
He's just got him.
It's just going to be Callum taking P3. What an end to the sprint race for Callum, for George. An amazing time.
That was amazing racing for everybody so far in that sprint. Not one incident I saw.
Very, very
Sorry about that. Yeah, one instance I saw there, and yeah, that was just very, very clean racing from everybody on track today.
And here you are for your sprint leaderboard. Charlie takes P1, Bradley in P2, but due to a 5-place grid penalty, he will go down quite a few places. Callum in P3, George in P5, Jamie in P5, I meant George in P4, sorry, muck up there. Costas in P6, Harry in P7, Peter in P8, and unfortunately due to a DNF, I went all the way down in P20. Thank you for watching this sprint race. We'll be right back with you with the actual race. Do not go anywhere, people.